Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be discussing Turkish oil wrestling, more popularly known in Turkey as yağlı güreş. Basically, we're going to be talking about what value this sport provides and why it's so important to the Turkish people, and why some would say that without this, you wouldn't even be a Turkish person. Like, this is directly part of identity. There will be some photos provided on what I talk about throughout the video, but if there aren't any, then it's probably not super important, so don't worry about it. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. So, to address the burning question on your mind, what even is Turkish oil wrestling? Turkish oil wrestling is the sport of wrestling, pretty normal. But you just have a lot of oil on your body, and there's a lot of ritual that goes into it, a lot of brotherhood, a lot of a lot of love that goes into the sport. I mean, like, there's more than just wrestling. It's more than just like you have oil on yourself and you just throw people around for 30, 40 minutes. That's not all it is. There's a lot more that goes into it, and I'm going to explain all of that today. But before that, like, why did the sport even become such a huge part of Turkish identity? It's because of heritage mainly, but more importantly, it's because of the moral values within the sport and how it's played, as I mentioned a second ago. So the heritage does play an important role in the continuity and popularity throughout the time, as it was incredibly popular throughout the empire's reign, the Ottoman Empire's reign. Even having wrestlers travel out of country on some occasions just to present the Turkish prowess in wrestling overseas. Sometimes it was, just dry wrestling, not no oil wrestling, so they had to like adapt to that before they could really show themselves off. But in general, Turkish people were really, really good at wrestling, and they just proved that throughout time. So, what even are the rituals? I mean, why do they do these rituals? So, before the matches can begin, there are a few things that must happen. So, first off, they need to spread the oil on their bodies, which is mainly what goes on here is just the opponents come together and pour the olive oil mixed with water upon one another, showing some brotherhood and mutual respect. There's no real hatred or anger in the sport at all. Like, it's all a lot of love. This is a really, really, close knit group of people. Like, they all know each other, at least they will get to know each other throughout the matches. It's and then after that, I mean, after the oil has been spread on upon the bodies of the wrestlers, Peshrev is another ritual that must occur. Peshrev is the entertainment and stretching for the wrestler. So entertainment for the spectators, and then it's the warm up for the wrestlers. So throughout the Peshrev, music is played. Wrestlers circle the ring. They meet after at a certain point a few times. They pay respect to one another, to the earth, and to God, and then they shake hands, and the match begins. So there is special clothing that they only wear pants, which are made of leather, from their waist down to a little bit below their knees to cover what they call aura, which is a Islamic term. It's just like keeping themselves modest, as modest as they can throughout their matches. So there's a few things that go into this because it is something you have to earn. You can't just get one of these. You can't just buy one. But it's not super important. I'll leave a couple links down in the description if you want to go and do some more research for yourself, but it's not super important to this video. So I'm going to just skip over it. So another final question to provide context to the sport is, why was the first match ever even instated? I mean, this has been going on for over 600 years. So what even caused this big, huge thing to happen? Ironically, we don't even know for sure. There's a lot of conflicting information. I've checked like probably 3 or 4 different peer-reviewed sources. I mean, they all had different interpretation. National Geographic, Wikipedia had a different interpretation than those articles did. The general consensus is that either it was because, just some people decided to wrestle back in the Ottoman Empire, or it's because after a battle, there was 40 people, 40 soldiers that just wrestled underneath a fig tree until they all died. 40 of them just they died from exhaustion after they wrestled for like 2 or 3 days straight or something, which is pretty stupid. I don't think that's what actually happened, but maybe it did. You never know. 600 years ago was a different time. So why is this even so important to the country? Why is it still important to this day? Why is it like a part of identity? I know I already talked about this a bit ago, but I want to go more specifically into the value. What is it providing to the people? What is it doing for the people? So because the sports annual gathering, Kırkpınar, is right on the border between Bulgaria and Turkey, it's providing an image of, we are still strong as a people. We used to be conquerors, we used to be wartime people, and we won't even bow in the face of war because it was once who we were. It was once what we did. And that's like it's showing a pride within our ancestry as people, as Turkish people. And honestly, like when I first read this, when I like understood what it was actually about, I felt a good deal of pride. I mean, I was like, dang, bro, I didn't realize it was this serious. So that's the main reason why this is still such a big part of identity, why it's still so important to Turkish people all around the world. Alrighty, guys. So last question to wrap it all up. If I only had one sentence to describe the sport and what it means to Turkey, what would I say? I would personally say that Kırkpınar is undeniably one of the greatest prides of Turkey and its people, and carrying centuries of history and heritage within it. I believe that a lot of people would say the same thing I said, and I mean, a lot of people would agree, I think, because it's a pretty normal, response to that question. But all in all, that's Turkish oil wrestling, one of the oldest and most meaningful traditions still alive today. So if you've made it this far, I am a broke college student with no money. So if you'd love to support me, I do have a GoFundMe link in the bio. Go ahead and just drop a few dollars. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.